Hey, what's up YouTube? It's John again. So I'm waiting for a few parts to show up for my Viper. I have a few things I have to take care of on my daily. So I'm going to be doing that stuff today, showing you guys a few things, and also just updating everything on the channel and what we're going to see to come. So let's go take a look at that and see what we got. Okay, so with the Viper so far, I've only had it for a few months. I've already changed a few things. I've upgraded the headlights, the headlight low beam bulbs to HID 6000K bulbs. So I have those in the ballast. It actually fits really nicely on the Viper. If any of you guys want me to show you guys that, let me know. That install is pretty straightforward, and that stuff actually fits right in. You don't have to cut anything. Some of the other vehicles, you actually have to, modify some of the caps and the waterproof housings, but the Viper you don't. So I can show you guys that. So I have the HID headlights. I had to replace the front brake pads. So I replaced the front brake pads, but I think I'm gonna end up doing a SRT10 front brake and rear brake kit. So IPSCO, they sell brackets to be able to modify basically your hubs to adapt the SRT10 calipers from 03 and up. So I think I'm gonna do that on the front and on the rear too. Another thing that I did is last week I installed the power steering pulley, the billet one with the bracket. So that stuff's done. I've got a cap on the radiator, or not the radiator hose, but the power steering cap. I've got an overflow cap on that. And I also have the Mishimoto silicone radiator hoses. So those are done. And then for now, I think that's it. Another thing I'm thinking of doing, and you guys can let me know what your thoughts are. Right now it has a modified stock exhaust on the car, but I think I want to put on either a Borla or Corsa. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Right now I basically have cats, I have no resonator, and just down into this muffler in the rear. So I only have this muffler in the rear on the car right now. So it sounds better than stock, but I'm thinking I might want a little bit more sound. So let me know what you guys think. Okay, so since we're on the topic of HID kits, I actually have a bulb or something burnt out on my daily driver Jetta. So I'm gonna go ahead and diagnose that and show you guys how you can easily diagnose that without any tools really, or meters or stuff like that. So I have a fog light that's burnt out here. I have 3000K fog light HIDs in both sides. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop the hood, and I'll show you guys what I basically do when any of my HID kits burn out or something goes wrong. So it's pretty easy, you guys can do it yourself, but this is how I do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this up. Okay, so for those of you that have HID kits, usually you're either going to have a left and a right of the car, or you're going to have fog lights, something like that. So HID kits, of course, consists of a ballast and the bulb. So normally what either fails is they don't both usually fail at the same time. Either the ballast goes or the bulb goes. So in order to figure out what one went, I usually either swap left to right, or in this case on my car, I actually have HID low beams and I have HID fog lights. So I basically have two ballasts sitting right there. So I don't really have to move anything left to right or right to left. I just sit there and basically unplug the ballast, plug it into the bulb below. If it powers up, then I know it's good. If it doesn't, then I know it's something else. So let's go ahead and try that. Okay, so because I know my headlight bulbs both work, the HIDs, what I did was I unplugged the ballast from the bulb on the bottom. So here is the two wires leading into the bulb for this headlight here, or sorry, fog light. So I unplugged that and I pulled the wires from this ballast back up to here. So these are the two that were originally leading down to that fog light. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plug them into this low beam, which has an HID in it. The pigtails are right here. So those two pigtails right there. I'm gonna plug that in and I'm gonna see if this light powers up. If it powers up, then of course that bulb down here is burnt. If it doesn't power up, then it might be the ballast. But let's go ahead and try that first. So I'm gonna unplug, I'm gonna connect these two, and then I'm gonna turn on my fog lights, which should turn this light on. Okay, so I connected the ballast that was originally leading to the fog lights to this headlight here. So let's go ahead and turn on the fog lights now and see if this headlight comes on. Okay, so you can see this fog light is on. Come over here, and the headlight's not on. So it may be the ballast that's not igniting if this headlight didn't come on. Because if all went well, that should have probably turned on. So let's go ahead and check a couple other things. So I'm sure you guys are aware, but there's a lot of these, HID kits that are made in China. So what actually ended up happening is I wiggled this connector here, even though it was fully seated, it still ended up being loose. So I wiggled this one, and all of a sudden this headlight came on. So I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to plug this back in, and this headlight actually comes on with the fog lights turned on. Okay, so like I said, what I did was I ended up moving this clip around. I actually closed the pins up a little bit because that connector is super cheesy. So I just closed the pins a little bit, made them a little bit tighter, put it back in, and the original setup, which I was telling you I tested, which was to take the ballast from the fog lights and redirect it to the headlight bulb for my car, which is an HID. So you can see it now, it's illuminating. So of course I'm assuming it was just that connector, so if I reconnect it back to this fog light, we should have a fog light again. So let's try that. Okay, so now we got it plugged back in, this light's on, and this light's on. So we're good. We can put this cover back on, and it's fixed. Alright, so we are back. I have my HID low beams on both sides, and I have my fog lights, the 3K HID fog lights working now too. So yeah, all it was a bit of simple troubleshooting. Didn't have to buy any parts, no special tools, and solve the issue, so that's back up and running. Okay, so I want to give you guys a little bit of a channel update too. Just back in the Viper right now. I'm actually going to be modifying the shifter shortly. So I have the parts on order, they're on their way. So right now the stock shifter is pretty high. They made it close to the steering wheel, which is okay, but the throws are ridiculous. If I show you how long this thing is, I mean, it's like rowing a boat to get this thing to go in gear. And also it's not very accurate too, and a lot of people complain about the same thing. So the kit I got, it's a short throw, so it actually changes the pivot point inside down below in the T56 transmission. And I also got a lowering kit, so this ball is going to be lower as well. So I'm going to do that for now, see how I like it, and then I might end up getting a different shift knob and change the actual appearance of this as well. But for now I'm just going to get that short throw shifter in there, the lowering kit, and then I also have a polyurethane transmission mount that's coming, and a billet aluminum cross member. So it actually is supposed to give the chassis a tiny bit more strength and also stop the transmission from moving around. So the reason why you'd want to do that is because this engine, it actually torques so much that it'll actually move the transmission. So when you're going to grab the next gear, you're in first and you have the engine loaded up, then you go to second, it'll actually move the engine, so you'll miss your gear. So it should tighten all this stuff up and make that better, but that video will be coming soon. As always guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this quick little video I made. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, and we'll be doing a lot more videos, how-to videos, and more updated stuff on the Viper as well. Take care.
What we do here is go back.